Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As we welcome the new year, let us look back the past year and take stock of what the Abiy government has done to subdue the Tigrayan people and other federalist forces in Ethiopia. What comes to mind first is, of course, Abiy's decision to dissolve the APRDF and hastily form the so-called Prosperity Party without following proper procedure and in a clear violation of electoral laws. Abiy did so with the hope that his new party would garner the support of the majority of Ethiopians. Well, time will tell whether Abiy is daydreaming or just bluffing. However, one should not lose sight of the fact that Abiy's real intention is to sideline Tigray and other regions that are increasingly and vociferously clamoring for the right to self-determination. The last thing such forces want is to go back to the ancient regime where the center ruled the periphery. Abiy has done everything in his power to ensure that Ethiopia goes back to the olden days when all political and economic and social policies emanated from the center and the periphery was sidelined to oblivion. To mention a few, a number of feudal units such as the Somali, southern nations, Afar, Gambela regions are now headed by people who are handpicked by Abiy. Further, any resistance from most regions has been met with a state of emergency, euphemistically called the command post. Despite that, however, some regions have not succumbed to Abiy's bullying, notably Tigray. Tigray has been in the forefront of the resistance. Even though the Abiy government is silent about it, there is also an armed resistance to Abiy's policy in some parts of Oromia. Additionally, there is an increasing call for autonomy by other nations such as Walaita, Kambata, Hadiya, Kafa, Kimant, and of course, in short, Abiy's dreams of a fake united Ethiopia are being shattered in front of his own eyes. With respect to Tigray, Abiy's provocation has apparently reached to a point of no return, as can be evidenced from his diplomatically disastrous move to prevent Chinese delegation from visiting Tigray, his threat to cut federal funds and electricity supplies to Tigray, stop flights from Addis Ababa to Tigray, and even cut internet connection to Tigray. Further, Abiy is working hard to play the number card by attempting to revive the Oro-Amhara thing with the vain and sinister idea that if the Amharas and Oromos are united, smaller nations like Tigray will have no choice but get along. Boy, is he mistaken? He is mistaken, of course. The people of Tigray are more united and defiant as never before. They can use the Abiy's hatred for them. Abiy started blaming the people of Tigray for all the evils in the country right from the beginning with the hope that such rhetoric would play well with the people of the rest of Ethiopia. His hateful rhetoric was supplemented by documentaries aired by state television unequivocally depicting all the violence in the country. It is blamed on the TPLF and by extension the people of Tigray. But the question is, did the propaganda work? No doubt it did work for some time. Otherwise, how can one explain the expulsion of thousands of Tigrayans and the detention of many of high-ranking Tigrayan officials who are still rotting in prison without due process? Because evil does not last long. The Abiy propaganda machine has lost steam now. As Abiy's initial false popularity had wanted people who are openly stating that the blaming the Tigrayan for everything that went wrong is not only unfair, but disingenuous. Federal forces are coming together to challenge Abiy's unitarist party in every way possible. Tigray is and should be playing its part in that effort. No intimidation is going to work this time. Tigray is as united as ever to have what is due, its right to self-determination. We call upon all other federalist forces to join the hand with Tigray and determine their fate by themselves as well. Happy New Year.